All right, traders, we're going to be doing the second live trading stream for the day, guys. Today has been absolutely crazy. There has been so much opportunity, so much potential to profit within the market today. We had AUR, we had PROG. The PROG put options are currently up 100%. The AUR call options are up over 100% from where I had alerted them. And yeah, we got a lot to go over within, this after hours, excuse me, within this power hour trading session, guys. So we'll give it a minute, wait for some people to tune on in here. But yeah, we got a lot to cover. We got a lot to cover. So yeah, we got Lucid stock here closing very, very strong. Check this out. It has turned this previous day's high at 53.59 into strong support right around here, now pushing towards a new high of day. So Lucid still looks phenomenal. I think this is going to be a great swing. Let's see. In terms of AUR, I think it's a great time to start locking in profits on AUR for sure. If you guys are still in on this one, we called this out at like 12, 20. So yeah, I think for AUR, it's a great time to start locking in some profits here. But yeah, guys, I mean, the main plays today were PROG and AUR. Those were phenomenal plays, man. PROG just hit 305. Wow. Currently down 15% on the day. The put options are up 60 to 100%. But yeah, if there's any stocks you want me to go over, feel free to drop them below. I'm going to be doing a quick power hour session here, just covering a couple stocks. Then I'll be signing off. So we'll see. I'm planning to cover my position. I think today on a PROG. I'm currently up 37% on that. What does this mean for PROG? I mean, yeah, you will find out in my next video. I'm gonna upload a video on PROG today, so be on the lookout for that. I would also keep your eyes on this. If this crashes in after hours, whether it's today or sometime this week, it's going to be an opportunity to quickly buy the dip. So I would pay very, very close attention and set price alerts, especially during after hours. Um, one strong sell off in after hours is going to be a quick dip buying opportunity for a scalp. But yeah, guys, things are going to get crazy very, very soon with PROG. Things are going to get absolutely, fucking crazy for this stock. Like it's gonna be insane, man. I'm really looking forward to it. So look out for the next video. But here's what I will tell you: we should see some sort of spike, some sort of short-term reversal at 297. There's a gap to fill at 297. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for it to go to 297, buy once I see bullish confirmations, once I see a bounce. And then in terms of price targets, where would the price target be? Price target is sitting right here. There's a gap to fill above at 399. Goes to 399, reacts as a resistance level, lock in profits, reacts as a breakout strong support level, lock in some profits, and continue to ride the rest back up to 470. So that's the plan on that. And another thing you want to understand, if you are in this stock long, write this level down, man, 297 to 3. If you see that react as a resistance level, it's selling off, it's looking weak, it's looking bearish, it's not reacting as a support level, this is going to head to 214. There's a gap to fill at 214. So basically your key level is at 297. If it reacts as a resistance, if it breaks down, you're looking at 214. It's going to take time, not right away, 1 to 2 weeks. If it reacts as a support level, starts breaking out, you're looking at $4. That's your key zone right now. Your key zone is going to be that $3 level, that key psychological, that key gap fill level. If it holds up nicely, this should go back to $4. I personally think it's going to spike. I think it's due for some sort of, correction. But for like a mid to long term point of view, say this hits $3 and it bounces to 4. If 4 reacts as a resistance, I think for the most part this is done. I think it will go back to 3 if that were to happen. And then once 3 reacts as a resistance level, it's heading to 214. So yeah, we'll have to see. Things are going to get very, very interesting. I think as we approach 297, we'll see a short-term spike to around $4 a share. I think that's what we're going to be looking at. And then from 4, we take it from there. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, if we're looking at this chart though, this reminds me a lot of Ader stock. I personally think like for the long term, this is done. But we'll have to see how it reacts. But long term wise, I think it's done, man. Like this really is starting to remind me of like Ader stock. I think we're kind of like right. If we were to compare charts, I think we're kind of like right here. I think we're right around here. This is Ader. This is PROG. I think we're right around here where it has one last rip and then it's just over and goes to $2. I personally think that's where we're at. We're PROG stock. But that doesn't matter right now. That's more of like a mid long term point of view. What matters is how this reacts at 297 and how this reacts at $4 a share. Those are going to be your key levels. But yeah, if 3 can hold, we're going to 4. So we'll see. I'm up 37%. I'm getting ready to cover this. There's no reason to hold for another like 14 cents. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is going to be insane. Like, this is a stock you have to have on your radar. We are at make it or break it levels. Things are going to get very, very interesting. But just studying how PROG reacts to these key oversold levels, you guys remember the 347 level I gave you. I told you for a scalp, that's a great dip buying opportunity. This stock reacted twice as a very, very strong bounce at 347 right here during after hours. Whenever this stock I've noticed crashes, whenever this crashes during after hours, it rips back up. So the key word in there is after hours. I've noticed when it has a massive sell-off in after hours, it rips back up very, very quickly. I've seen it happen multiple times. I remember when they dropped their earnings, I was short before their earnings. I covered very, very quickly. I was short at like 330 or something. I covered at like 285. Where was that? That was right here. Had this massive sell-off in earnings, and then it ripped right back up. It recently did the same thing, and it bottomed at that exact level I gave you, that key gap fill level. And there was multiple dip buying opportunities for quick scalps, for great, trading quick scalp opportunities. The first one was in after hours, and then you had one. This was where was the second one? I think there was another opportunity. Okay, so that was the first one where it went from 345 to 470. And then this was the second one. It went from 330 to 375. So 2 dip buying opportunities. But yeah, for those of you who played this short or even got to put options, congratulations. Like guys, just today alone, the puts are up over 100%. You know, $3 out of money puts up 118%. The 350 in the money put is up 66%. Even the 250 out of money puts up 150%. Like guys, the puts printed on this. Um, so yeah, this is it's going to 287, and then we got to see how it reacts from there. This is one you got to keep an eye on frequently in after hours as well. And guys, Lucid is closing strong. I'm telling you, man, this stock is going to rocket, man. Lucid is on track to break out for new all-time highs. I could see it happening, man. This looks really, really strong. There's been no break of trend so far. Um, I think Lucid's going to be great for the short, mid, and long term. That should do very, very well. But yeah, like I said, if you're in on AUR, I would definitely, look to lock in profits. The options exploded today. In terms of the calls, these calls were up over 100% at one point. They're currently up 60%. So yeah, I mean, today was crazy, man. And we have this all prepared. I gave you guys the preparation video for AUR yesterday, and then we had the morning live stream. So many people crushed it on those call options, and then Lucid, I called that out very, very early in the live stream before I posted a video on that one. But yeah, PROG just got a new low, so really want to see, man, if this can hit 287 here by the end of power hour. I want to see how this reacts to switch sides potentially. But I'm covering today. I'm definitely gonna cover some, if not all, today. QLGN. Let's see. What stocks are you guys looking at? Yeah, this isn't my type of chart pattern. I'll look to see how it reacts towards 256. See how it reacts towards this gap fill. It's heading to 256 to fill the gap. So we'll see how it reacts towards there. If that reacts as a resistance, it's basically over. If it reacts as a support, it's going to break out to 310. So we'll see. I'm overall bearish on it already once it hits that level. Let's see. All right, so I'm locking in profits on AUR. All right, so guys, I'm out of AUR. I'm going to keep an eye on it, though, into the week. All right, so Alibaba's still holding up, so that's good. CI, let's see. Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it. We need to see some bullish confirmations. We need to see some green candles coming in on the daily. So just add that to your watch list. I've seen there's so many stocks, guys, that have the same pattern right now that are at their key gap fill levels, key support levels. There's so many like CI, BIDU, same exact pattern, gap fill here, starting to bottom out. There's so many stocks I've seen that are having that same pattern right now. So you got to keep a close eye on them. All right, so PROG. Let's see. Okay, so we got some support coming in at 305 already. All right, let's see. If they can turn, they're trying to push this here. If they can turn 320s into support and break out, then it could start to run a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, because I'm saying that Lucid's the play, man. If you're looking for a swing, Lucid's the one to go with. I would lock in profits from AUR and move it to Lucid stock. This is really give this one like 2 weeks. This should hit like 60, like $64 easily. Really like this one. So yeah, for swings right now, the main play would be Lucid. PROG, we got to see how this reacts to 297. What program do you use? So, I mean, I use multiple programs like for multiple different things. So, like for Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, I'll use this for charts. That's the main reason why I use this. And then I also have watch list, and then I have some scanners filtered on it. And then I'll use DAS. DAS is a software that I use for trading, scanning, level 2 stuff like that. And then I use a couple of other things as well. There's like Bazinga, Trade Ideas. So yeah, it kind of depends on what is it you're looking for, because I use a lot of different programs for a lot of different things. I found that there's not really like an all-in-one solution where everything's like the best. So yeah, man, Zoom has been coming back nicely. Let's see. Yeah, this is probably going to keep running. I'm going to keep a close eye on Zoom for a swing. I think Zoom can go to 240 within like 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, I think now, like if you haven't already, I think now would be a good spot to enter on Lucid. And then if it pulls back, I would look to add more. It looks really strong. It looks like we're on track to gap up tomorrow. Things look really good. But yeah, I mean, I like this one a lot. I think within 1 to 2 weeks we'll be like at $64. And then early January, I think by January we'll get a new all-time high. So if you want to like swing this, I would give yourself some time. These are one of the ones that I pointed out in the video. I like these ones a lot. The January 21st, and then I would get the 55 strike. Those are the ones that I like. They're currently at 8 to 9. But yeah, those should do very well. I mean, just looking at this chart, it looks like it's getting ready to explode. You just got to give it some time. For the short term, this could have a little pullback to like $51, $52. Not a big deal. But if you give this one a little time, I think we're headed to like 60 plus, like easily. Let's see. But yeah, man, I really want to see if this PROG can hit this 297 level today, whether that's, power hour, whether that's after hours. because I really want to see how this reacts. But it's already bouncing close to 3, so that's good for the bulls. That's a good sign. It's just, man, there's so much support at 3. This is, I love this. I love this right here. I mean, this tells you everything you need to know. Just look at this candle right here. The exact bottom is at 285. It ripped back up to 350. Like, all the buyers are going to be a 3 to 285. Like, in between that zone, this is where all the buyers are going to show up. And you could see they're already starting to show up. I easily see this going back to like $4 a share. So I really want to get in towards that floor. Here, let's take a look at the options on PROG. So, I mean, this is definitely meant to be more short term. So, like, let's see. I think it would be best to go with a December. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I think December 17th. If you were to get call options on PROG, I think December 17th and $3 strike. That's what I'm looking at. 3 to 350 strike. That should be more than enough time for this to rip back to 4. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. So jump in PROG now. I was going to wait till sub 3. So yeah, I mean, I'm waiting. I'm still in my short, like you guys know, like I'm still in my short position. Like I'm waiting on this one. It's not just about price and a good deal, but it's also about confirmation, how it reacts. But it's already showing signs of positivity towards the level, which is good. But yeah, me personally, I'm waiting. I think after hours is going to be pretty interesting, so we'll have to see. Um, but yeah, I mean, like as you can see, I'm still short, and then I locked in profits for a 5% gain on AUR. I locked in my profits for 5%, and then PROG, I'm still in at 488, so I'm up 36% on that. So we got 35 minutes till the market closes here. So yeah, we'll see. Can you stream into after hours? I'm gonna try to. I have a business phone call that I have to take. Right now he's consulting with another person. I'm not exactly sure when he's gonna call me. Um, but I'm gonna have to take that. That'll most likely be within 30 minutes to an hour. So we'll have to see. It depends like how long he's in on his other meeting. But I mean, I'll probably leave it up for you guys to watch the chart and the price action. I'm just not gonna be talking if that call comes through. Man, Lucid, yeah, Lucid's gonna get a new high of day. This is good. I'm telling you, man, Lucid's gonna be a good play if you're patient with that one. So let's see. Yeah, I mean right now it's Lucid and PROG. Those are like my top plays right now. And then BBIG, I'm on the sidelines right now, giving it some time. Still not a bullish reaction. So 293, the gap has not filled yet. It went to 290, 298 today. So almost hit. Okay, so it looks like PROG is going to be seeing a little short-term reversal here. The bulls can really start to gain control if they can turn this this 321, and if they could break out and turn this into support, then we could really start to see a nice climb back within some time. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're attempting to. We got to see how it reacts. But I mean, this is good. Like in terms of for bulls, this is good price action. They're already showing nice signs of strength in your lower threes. So for LGVN, I really like this one this morning. I didn't do anything with it, but now that it's cracked this key level, I would avoid this. This is really bearish now. In the morning, it was looking great because it was above this 30.67 level, and there was a gap to fill towards 42. But I mean, I would avoid this one. This is not a good candlestick. I mean, look at how it reacted when it formed this candlestick on Friday. Negative reaction. Now it's down 15%. Like, I would avoid this one. From 3 to 45, this is something I would stay away from. I would not be buying into this. But yeah, guys, this candlestick, I would be shocked if Lucid didn't gap up tomorrow, or if it didn't like at least go to 60, at least go to 57 by the end of the week. It's just like this candlestick and this chart looks so bullish. Like it just looks really, really good. Absolutely love this chart. I'm telling you, if this 57 can break out and react as a support level, that's where you can see a major shift in the trend, and that's where this can really start to run to like that $100 mark into next year. That's going to be that key psychological level towards 60 to 57. Yeah, but this is gonna rip, man. So there's the new high on Lucid. Congrats for those of you who are playing that one. I'm in nicely on Lucid. I'm in on Alibaba, and I'm still in on PROG. I locked in profits on AUR, and there goes Lucid. We are now at a new high of day. Look at that volume spike, guys. I mean, people are really starting to know. Look at this volume spike coming in here. Very, very strong, almost as high as the volume, at market open, which is the most volatile time of the trading day. So yeah, things are looking really up for this one. Let's see. Yeah, man, I'm really not seeing like anything else. It's just like PROG and Lucid, and those are like my top plays right now. Let's see. Zoom is on the back burner. We got a lot of stocks on the back burner. There's going to be a lot of good upcoming swings as well. Like BBIG, Alibaba's going to explode soon enough. Nvidia. So last time I checked, Nvidia was on its way to fill this gap I was looking at. So now it's starting to explode up. Let's see. If it can turn 330 into support, if it can turn this into solid support, expect a run to 345. Me personally though, in terms of like a short-term swing trade, I would stay away from this one. I think there's better plays. I think this is on, I think this is more on the overbought side. I would avoid it personally. But in terms of price action, if it can turn, 330 into support and hold up nicely, and right now it does look bullish, I think we're going to see a run back to 345. I just think there's better plays. Like I genuinely believe Lucid would be the play in terms of like a breakout opportunity. because not a lot of people are expecting, like, for the short term for Lucid to really run. I think a lot of people are looking at this as like, we got a lot of resistance at 57 to 60s, and normally I would look at it as bearish. It's just this is a very rare opportunity, and I really think this stock can really start to explode and break out towards this key level. And like the bulls are going to take over once they can, prove that 57 is the floor. It's going to rip for a new all-time high. It should be able to do that pretty easily. I think people are really starting to catch on to Lucid. Like they know it's the real deal, but I think people are really starting to catch on to this. I mean, the chart looks golden. Like in terms of a breakout, it looks perfect. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get that gap fill on PROG heading into after hours. I think it's going to be tough to do it in power hour. We got 29 minutes left, so we'll see if this has any some sort of move here in after hours. But I'm telling you guys, if you want to dip buy this stock, you have to be watching it during after hours and during pre-market. That 287 level, that's your key dip buy level. Um, and if it has some sort of nice pullback, some sort of nice sell off, it should rip, especially during extended hours, because it's just known for doing that. Just study how it previously reacted. Like typically when this sells off during extended hours, it rips right back up to, fill those gaps. So this is something I would definitely keep an eye on. All right, so we're starting to break down here on PROG. So it looks like it was another fake out. It looks like the bulls aren't going to be able to, so we saw some support coming at 305. The stock was pushing back up. I told you guys for a potential, short-term reversal, it would have to go above 320, start to break out. It looks like it's trying to maintain this resistance here at 315, you can call. So, I mean, right now at the current price action, I think we're headed back to a new low. Things are looking bearish. They attempted. It looks like they failed to do so. So we'll see how this reacts, man. Like I really don't like buying stocks before the gap fill plays, even if they're close. Sometimes it could partially fill. I mean, that's why I haven't bought BBIG yet, because it hasn't filled the gap yet. The gap that is waiting to fill is at 293. It hasn't gotten there yet. And then, not only does it have to fill the gap, but it has to have a positive reaction. So there's two steps to it. That's why I haven't bought or covered PROG yet as well. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, AUR, I'm on the sidelines. Like I said, I locked in profits for 5%. And if you got the options, that's an easy 50% ROI. But yeah, I think getting into power, I'm going to be watching Zoom just rip up and PROG form a new low of day. Looks like that's what we're on track to do here. Let's see. Wow, that's wild, man. The RSI on a PROG isn't even oversold. If you look at the daily chart, that's wild. I really don't use the RSI, but I definitely find that interesting. All right, so for another quick rip for the micro price action for Lucid, we need to see 5450 hold and react as a support. Right now we're getting that pullback. If we can see this hold and react as support, it should have another little rip up here into after hours. So we'll see how that reacts. Regardless, this is a phenomenal swing trade. That's just micro price action. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, this one really doesn't move too much during after hours, it looks like. Sometimes it does. But yeah, I mean, I think for Lucid stock today was the day where the bulls really stepped in and showed who's in control. So that next level we got to see turn into support and breakout is going to be that $57. But I think today was very strong day for the bulls. I think they proved they can get back to 57 very, very quickly and break out. All right, so guys, what stocks are you watching? Are you in any swing trades? Let me know what swing trades you're in, what stocks you're looking at. We got 25 minutes for a power hour here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So PPSI. Yeah, I mean, I would stay away from this one. I'm not really seeing the charts all over the place. I would just avoid this one. I wouldn't do anything with this one. It's not my type of chart. It pumps and then it dumps. Like I don't see any value in this one from a technical view. CI calls. Let's see. Okay, so we're sitting at 200. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I mean it does have potential. I think we need more of a confirmation. It might be a little too early. So with options, I mean, I like to stay in the money and at the money. I like to play it safe in that sense. I really don't like to go far out of the money. For PROG, if you want to play it super safe, like I said, like $3 strike. If you want to go a little bit on the riskier side, then like a 350. I think December 17th should be more than enough time on those. So those are the ones that I like. Once we get a confirmation, December 17th, 3 strike to 3.5 strike. You got a lot of volume on those, and they're fairly cheap. Let's see. So here, let's see 3.5 strike. We'll copy this. See how far it can show us how much these are worth. Okay, so they're at 40 cents now. This is the December 17th, 3.5 out of money strike. Um, so when this was at, let's see, when this was at 286 on November 12th, next day it shot up to 350. Day after that it went to $5. So let's see. Let's go back to November 12th on these contracts to see how much they're worth. Okay, so here's November 12th. They were trading at 45 cents was the low. 65 was the high. Next day they shot up to 80 cents. So almost 100% from the low. And then the day after that, when this was at 4, they shot up to about 140. So basically, if this has a quick rip to 4, these contracts should go up almost 200%. They should go to about like 120. So yeah, they should go up like 200%, but it has to quickly go back to 4 for that to happen. Now let's see the difference in terms of how the 3 strike in terms of like returns. Let's see. So let's see the 3 strike. December 17th, 3 strike. Okay, November 12th and to November 14th. So these were at 60 cents. Now they're a little lower. And then when this was at 4, they shot up to about $1.50. So yeah, I mean, very, very similar. I think it would just be best to stick with the 3 strike. There wasn't much of a difference. So yeah, I like 3 strike on those. All right, it looks like we're going to try to get one last breakdown here into power hour. We got 20 minutes, plus we got some after hours. It looks like we're going to try to get one more last breakdown. So, I mean, the plan is to basically cover when this hits, like 290. Hopefully it hits it today because I really don't want to hold this another night. I highly doubt I'll hold this overnight. I don't even think it'd be worth it. Plus the risk of this like spiking to 350, that'd be so annoying. It just the risk would outweigh the reward for me to hold this overnight. I would literally just be milking it like for another 15 cents. So I'm definitely planning to get out today. All right, so for Lucid, we gotta see 5450 how this reacts. Let's see. Yeah, Lucid, Roku, Roku, 230. Um, yeah, I would keep an eye on it. I think there's better buys though, but it's something to worth keep an eye on. One stock that is extremely oversold was let's see, I got a list here. I got another list on my phone. Let's see. Let's see. It was Stone, STNE. So yeah, this is another one I'm keeping an eye on. It's extremely oversold. But it's still there's no signs of a reversal just yet. But it's a stock worth keeping an eye on for sure. It just hit a new all-time low, STNE at 15. It's due for some sort of bounce, some sort of spike. Just have to see, signs of a reversal. We're not getting yet. Same with SPCE. Space is going to be a phenomenal one. I cannot wait to buy that one. This one is going to rock it, man. This is going to be. I'm going to get some leap options. I'm going to get some leap calls on space. This is easily ripping back to like, $25, $30 plus a share. Like this isn't going anywhere. This will rip back. It's just going to take time. But yeah, I've been waiting. I got a large list of stocks that are extremely oversold. I'm just waiting for some, signs of a reversal. I don't want to buy into a falling knife. So dunking. So yeah, DKNG, DraftKings, it's oversold. It's just there's no signs of a reversal yet. So I would just watch it for now. I mean, there is a gap to fill right here at $30 a share. I think it's heading to $30 personally. It's been downtrending for quite some time. No signs of a reversal. I think we're going back to $30 a share. So that's what I'm waiting for. I got my price alert set right here for that to trigger. So yeah, I think we're going to $30 a share within time. So I would wait towards that level. As for TME, yeah, I mean, this is just not my type of chart. Um, I would avoid this one. It's just not my type of chart. CWRK. So I mean, charts I really like. I mean, I like something like SPCE, where whenever it hits a key support level, it always shoots back up. And I like for it to have a strong history, a strong foundation of it spiking very, very big, because history tends to repeat itself. This has a strong foundational support channel towards these key support levels with huge upside potential, and it's known for filling the gaps. It's that same pattern I shared with you guys where we nailed BBBY call options, um, for like a 400% return plus. So MAOS, let's see, MAOS. Man, did you guys see what YouTube did? They removed the dislike button. So now when I make a video about PROG, people can't dislike it. That's pretty funny, man. Like, is that really necessary? Like, you had to take away the dislike button? I don't know. People are just too soft nowadays. But yeah, I think we're gonna get a new low here soon. Um, Sold most of my AUR calls for 55%. Keep some for tomorrow out of curiosity. Yeah, congratulations, man. That was a phenomenal play. I mean, it's definitely worth taking the risk of just, leaving on a small size simply due to the potential where this could go. Like, it has the potential to go to 15 or even 17. But it's definitely a good time to lock in profits. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that where you leave a small size on and just kind of YOLO it, because, we've gotten in literally towards the bottom. So if this were to rip to 15 to 17, that small YOLO would be well worth the risk, especially since you locked in profits. Yeah, another one I'm keeping an eye on is OCGN. OCGN is really oversold. It's at a key support channel. It's known for filling the gaps. There's a gap to fill at 1270. It's another one I'm keeping a close eye on. There's a gap to fill right here. It's going to be heading towards 570s. That's going to be an attractive level to consider swinging. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of great plays coming up. I think Lucid's going to be a nice one. Um, but yeah, a lot of good plays coming up as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Another oversold stock I'm keeping an eye on. Like I got a large list of oversold stocks, guys, because there's just so many lately. Is NVTA? It's at that key gap level. It's oversold. But like I said, these stocks, there's no signs of reversal yet, so I'm just watching them for now. But at some point, they're gonna have that nice reversal, and then that's where I look to catch on to them. So DRMA has rebounded. Let's see. So we bottomed in 220s, now at 3. Yeah, I mean the problem with this one is there's no volume though, and there's just not much of a pattern in terms of the chart. So this isn't something that I would really consider buying. So yeah, like I said, for BBIG, I'm really waiting for this gap fill. There's a gap fill level at 293. If it reacts strong around that level, we see some bullish confirmations. I'll look to buy this in the very low threes, like 310, 315 on the pop. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this has a potential. I mean, basically, so put it this way, like BBIG, it's the same exact pattern from a technical view as PROG, except except PROG has more interest right now. I think PROG has more interest for the short term. So if one were to pop for the short term, I think PROG is your better bet. But they're literally both at the same price, and the option chains are very, very similar. You could diversify and go with both of them, but yeah, I mean they're basically the same exact play from a technical view. It's just PROG has more interest right now. Now, if we were to talk like long term, I think BBIG is going to perform a lot better at the $3 level than a PROG stock. But for the short term, PROG has a better chance for sure. But yeah, I mean they're both that same pattern. I mean BBIG has the gap fill at 293, and then it has that gap fill to play above at 390, and then PROG is the same exact thing. We have the gap fill at 297, and then to play for the gap fill at 399. So they're the same pattern. Can PROG go lower than 297? I mean, anything's possible. I think it's very unlikely in terms of, how the chart has been on this one, how the price action is. I would say it's very unlikely. But, if you see this, if you're in on this and it cracks 287, bounces back up, turns it into a support, if it turns like 3 into resistance, that would be a key sign to really sell. Like, because, like I said, if you guys tuned in earlier, like if 3 to 290 reacts as a strong resistance level, this is going to be heading to 214. Like it might have a quick pop to 4, but even then, like it's really likely to go to 214. So you got to pay very close attention to how this reacts at 3. I think we'll see some sort of bounce, some sort of pop back to 4, and then from there, if it reacts as a resistance, things are going to get really, really ugly. That's going to be, I'll have a lot of interest in actually reshorting this stock at $4 a share. If this tops out at 4, we're most likely heading to 2 from like 2 weeks after that. But yeah, like I think we'll see a bounce back to four, and then we got to see how it reacts. If four reacts as resistance, I think I don't think $3 is going to have a problem cracking and reacting as resistance. And if that happens, like 215 would be the next target within 1 to 2 weeks. It takes time because PROG stock, it has short term spikes where everyone gets hyped up, like it will sell off, it will crash, and then I'll have this short term spike. Everyone gets hyped up, and like I told you guys in my past videos, like I said, if this spikes, I think it's going to be a fake out. I would short into the pops at 490s, and that was literally the best prices to be shorting at. But yeah, at this point, this is just it's getting really annoying. Like this just it's got to play out. I think tomorrow we'll fill that gap, if not today. It's gonna be tough though to do it today, just because of like how much this has already gotten beaten down. Like it's down 15% already. It was 380 in the pre-market too. So TOST. Let's see. How do you know when a stock turns into a support or resistance? So yeah, I mean, there's multiple confirmations to use. I would say one of the best ones would be the wicks, like I did like with AUR stock. This would be like one of the best ways to determine if a stock has a very strong support level. um I would really go back and watch that video I made today on AUR stock. AUR stock, there was major resistance right here. It went from 1180 all the way down to new all-time lows at 950. And then this had its breakout. It shot up to 1177, and then it quickly retraced back to the previous resistance level. How do you tell if it reacts as a support level? You have to give it some time. You have to see how is the price reacting to the key level. Like 1180 is a key level because when it was bearish and it reacted as a resistance level, it had a massive downside move. It dropped all the way to 950 the same day. And then when it was bullish and reacted as a support level and had a breakout, it went all the way down to 1777. So this is a level where the stock can have a huge upside move or a huge downside move. And it's more likely that it would have a huge upside move simply because it was just at 1777 and it crashed so quickly. So it had an overreaction. So it's due for some sort of correction. And like with that being said, you have to see how it reacts. So I mean, one way to do it is through the daily candlesticks. That would be my favorite way to do it. So daily candlesticks are more for like swing trading reactions, that can turn into day trades too. But I like to pay attention to the wicks. I like to see where the bottom of these wicks are. And if it's closing above those key levels, the stock was consistently closing above that key level. It was forming very, very strong wicks. And it really starts to shot up. So that would be one way, is the candlesticks, and then pay attention to when the volume starts to come in. If you look at the 5-day chart for AUR, this had a very strong support channel at that key level where it really didn't break down. And then right around here, this is where the volume really started to come in at that 1250 level. And I told you guys that key resistance level is going to be at 1250. Because there wasn't really any resistance once it goes above 1250. So it's going to start to explode. Like right here, your resistance is at 1240, 1250. It goes back to the key level. Now, if that starts to break out and react as a support level, like it did right around here with the strong volume coming in, if you look at the 5-day chart, you could see, like, look at the highs on the volume and then look right here when it starts to break out. That's how you can kind of tell by looking at the volume spikes as well. Along with those bottom pins, those trend reversal candlesticks confirmations. So yeah, I mean, that would be one way to do it, by learning the candlesticks, paying attention to the price actions. Does this look strong? But yeah, guys, Lucid is a beast, man. I'm telling you, Lucid is a beast. Lucid is a beast. It held up, man. Gosh, this is gonna be interesting for after hours too. This stock is such a beast right now, man. I'm telling 2022 $100 stock easily. My buddy and I, we got leaps in this one. We're expecting this one to do very well for the long term. Like in terms of like a long term play, man, Lucid would be a great long term play. Okay, let's see. All right, so guys, last calls. We got 5 minutes till market closes. Actually, 4 minutes till market closes. Last plays, last calls on stocks. We'll do a quick after-hour session, then we'll wrap things up. I'm gonna post another video about PROG pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Um, so yeah, let me know. Last calls. Let's see. Is it too late for Lucid? I don't think it's too late. We could see. Like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if we get a little short term pullback to like, $52 for the short term. But I think now would be a good time. If you, it depends on your risk tolerance, but I think now would be a good time to take some starting position in this. So like if you wanted to put like 1,000 in it, I think now would be a good time to like put 500 in, and then if it has a pullback, add 500 on the pullback. That's how I would play this. If you haven't gotten it already, it's just like this. It just looks really bullish, and it really looks like we're headed towards this 5760 level. There's been no break of trend so far. It still looks very, very strong, and I think we're on track to really go to the 60s for a potential new all-time high for the short term. Like I said, the options that I really like would be, like I said, if you're looking to play it as a swing, like January 21st, those are the ones, January 21st. I mean, people are buying these up like crazy. It's more than enough time, and the chart looks phenomenal. I mean, just look at this. You have 7,500 on the volume for $5 options, and these are out of the, these are 70 strike. If you've been paying attention to the option chain on Lucid, it's been blowing up, and they've been adding strikes every single week, man. I remember it wasn't too long ago when this was in the 40s. The highest strike was at 60. Now it's going all the way into the 80s. Like it's getting absolutely insane like how high they're going with these strikes, and I think they're just going to continue to go up. But the highest strike we've seen now is 85. I remember when I bought my leaps, the highest strike was 60. So they keep on adding higher strikes. And guys, just like look at this. Like people see the potential. Like the real play on Lucid is the long term. That's the real play. That's like the easy money. They should do well for the short term, but nothing's guaranteed. But the big easy money is definitely in the leaps, the longer term ones. But look at this. Like this is unreal. Like you have leap options that expire in 781 days. We're talking like over 2 years, 2024, right? Far out of the money strikes, 85 strike, 80 strike. Like, look at the volume on these, 7,000 in the volume. And the open interest is crazy too. Like, it's unreal to see volume that high on leap options. It's absolutely unreal. And they just added these, they recently added those. So these are all very good signs, especially for the longer term. But things just look so great for the short term too. Yeah, so they have 95 strikes too. Like, it's insane, man. Wow. See, people are playing. Let's see. Yeah, so they're playing those two. Yeah, man. See, this says a lot. That says a lot, man. Like this option chain is really showing you that the real play in this are the leap options, man. You can't really go wrong with these. Like it's crazy, man. Just look at the volume on these leap options. Like that's unreal. Especially like this one right here, the 75 strike. Like it's just crazy. So yeah, Lucid's gonna be a big one for the long term for sure. Let's see what else. Okay, so the market has now closed. So the top watch in after hours is going to be PROG. So let's just see if we get some sort of price action here. Let's see. Let's just quickly go back and see like in terms of like timing. Okay, so after hours didn't do much. I mean, I'll give it like 10 to 20 minutes. If it doesn't do anything the first like 15 minutes, it's really probably not going to do anything. So yeah, let's just see. I'll give it like 10 minutes. So I'll wait for Lucid under 30. I mean, if 57 can break out and turn into support, if that holds up nicely, I would highly doubt we're going back to 30s. Like this is something where it could literally just take off. Like I get, there's gaps to fill below. Um, but as of now, there hasn't been a break of trend, so we'll have to see. It's a little too early to say if these gaps are gonna fill below. We got to see how it reacts towards your 57 level first. But yeah, I mean, since October though, Lucid has been reacting very, very strongly to all of its gap fills. Your gap fill play right here, it reacted as support, exploded up. Your gap fill play right here reacted as support, exploded up. It's gonna be interesting, but I would think is like your 57 levels your key level. If it starts to react as a resistance and it starts breaking back down, that's where that trend can really start to change. But as of now, there hasn't been a sign of like a major reversal in the trend. I'm sorry, still in on AUR. So for AUR, I locked in profits when this was at like $13. So yeah, realized, so 1100 realized on AUR. I locked in my profits on this one. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, heading into this week. But there was really no reason to hold any further. I mean, it's already at 1270. My entry was in the 1220s. I'm not going to be surprised if it goes back to my initial entry. You got to know when to lock in profits. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it reacts. If 1250s can keep holding up, it could be a potential buyback. All right, so let's see if anything's moving here in after hours. Let's check. Let's check. All right, so let's see. But yeah, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm gonna drop a video on PROG. Um, that'll be released within the next like 2 hours. It's gonna be a really good one. It's gonna go over the plan for buying, the plan for shorting. I'm gonna show you how I'm planning to trade it both ways again. Man, Lucid is such a monster right now. Let's see. All right, let me check extended hours, see what we got going on, see if anything's moving. Okay, so after hours, let's see. We got a couple stocks moving. So let's see. So PTPI, it looks like this is moving. Okay, so we're gonna pop on PTPI and after hours. We have CSSE, chicken soup. And it's not, I'm not sure why that popped up on the scanner. MYPS, nothing. Yes, I mean, I'm not really seeing much here in after hours. As for PROG, it's not really doing anything. It's like meant to cover or to not cover. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get out during after hours. Okay, so Sava. Yeah, let's do a quick update on Sava. Okay, so we're now back to my initial entry. So it's a good thing I sold and locked in profits. Same thing like for AUR. I mean, it's getting close to my initial entry, and it's probably going to hit it. So in terms of Sava stock, if you guys watched the video, I was playing for the gap fill at 61.59. And then I told you guys if you see it react as a resistance level, if it's struggling, if it's having a negative reaction to lock in profits. I was long at 54.88. I locked in profits towards 58. Right now, for the short term, things are looking bearish. It's filled the gap, it's having its reversal. You have a bearish candlestick right here. It's not looking good for the short term. There's really no reason to buy it from a technical view in terms of my strategies at the moment. You could look to see how it reacts towards like 50 to 46, but as of now, I have no interest in it. I would hold off on this one for now. I think for the midterm, I think we can go back to like 70 to 80 to even 90, but I don't see a reason to get back in just yet. The chart looks bearish for the short term, so I'm on the sidelines for that one. So let's see. So SFT. I mean, the chart is pretty bearish. This isn't something that I would buy into. I don't see a reason to get in. So yeah, for me, it's just I wouldn't even have this one on my watch list. Do you think mRNA is a good short? So yeah, we talked about this earlier today in the live stream. I do want to short it, but it has to go to the right price. So for me to short this personally, it has to go to, so there's a gap to fill at 384 and there's another gap to fill at 408. I think once it gets to that key whole round psychological number at 400, that's going to be the time to short this. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this to go to $408 to short this. I think it's going to be a good put option opportunity. I think it's moved up a little bit too high too quickly for the short term. It's due for some sort of pullback. But I got to go with the best price on this one. So towards 408, I got my price alert set. You can see right here. So that's going to be a great put opportunity. So I'm looking forward to that for some correction. There's a gap to fill at 270s. There's another gap to fill at 325. That's going to be a phenomenal play. So keep an eye on mRNA puts towards 408. Set your price alerts on that one. That's going to be phenomenal. Are you saying that AUR is done? I mean, what I'm saying is right now, I don't see a reason to buy this like right now. Like it had its nice move. I was looking for a nice move. It had its nice move. I'm not seeing a reason to hold it overnight. I really don't like the way it closed. So yeah, we got to see how this reacts tomorrow. We got to see how 1250 reacts. If it cracks 1250s, then we're headed back towards like 1180. So I'll see how it reacts towards 1250 tomorrow. That's going to be the key for this tomorrow. Okay, so AGC. So up here a little in after hours. Yes, I mean this is just it's not my type of chart. Like I don't see a reason to really buy this one. But yeah, if it can hold above 1325, it should be able to go to 1450. Then it would have to break out and turn that into a support level. If not, then it's headed back to 13. But yeah, it's not my type of play, so I would avoid that one. Um, let's see. Okay, let's see. AQST. Okay, it seems like the volume is light. Yeah, I mean, just looking at its chart, I don't see any reason to be getting in on this one as well. Um, so BNTX, let's see. So yeah, BNTX has been following mRNA, but I would just stick with mRNA. I would ignore this one. I think mRNA is going to be a lot more predictable. I would just avoid this one. XELA. So we have a gap to fill right here at $1.47. I mean, if this can hold above 140s and turn that into support, we could see some sort of breakout and run to $2. So I would keep an eye on it. I would look for a breakout towards 147 to play for the gap to fill at $2. It's got to be strong though, and volume has to come in. Right now, it's not doing much, but we'll see. I would set a price alert like above 147 on XELA. I think that's where the breakout play is going to be for that one. All right, guys. Any last calls? Let me know. I'm going to be releasing the next video on PROG on PROG stock within the next 2 hours. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to cover everything you need to know from a technical view, step by step, when to go long, when to go short. It's going to be a really good one. I'm really looking forward to this one for tomorrow. Okay, so let's see. So for PPSI, let's see. Okay, so we're getting a massive rip here. So for PPSI, I mean, let's see. I mean, this just isn't my type of play. You know, it's not my type of strat. I would just avoid this one. It's definitely dangerous to short. In terms of like levels. Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay, this is actually wow. Okay, this is never mind. This is going to be interesting actually. I didn't see this. So we have a gap to fill at 1040. So this is a gap fill play at 1040. That's where it's heading. So you got to see how it reacts. You know, if you're long on this, it hits 1040, it starts pulling back, it reacts as a resistance, it's struggling, it looks weak. You got to lock in profits, man. If 1040 reacts as a resistance, this is headed back to fill this gap. There's now a gap to fill below at 763. That's where it's heading if that happens. So for this run to continue, you need to see $10.40 break out, turn into support. You need to see signs of strength at that level for this to be a true run. If that can happen, then you're looking at $11.30 to $12 a share. So, you know, I'd want you to think is like 1040 as your key level. That's like your key level with huge potential downside. Like in terms of your upside, you're looking at like 1130 to 12s. In terms of your downside, you're looking at 760s. Now, this could be a buyback once this goes to 760s. Like if it goes to 760s very, very quickly, it could be a buyback. So I got my price alert set in terms of where I'm interested in trading this one. 760 and 1030. Those are going to be the two key levels that I'm looking at. So we'll see how it reacts, you know, towards those key levels. I mean, just look at how it reacted, like right here. It gapped up very, very nicely from 679 and it got to a high of 1008. It almost filled this gap. And, you know, then a week later it goes to 630s. So that's not a good sign. But it looks like we're really going to try to get that gap fill here and we'll see how it reacts. So yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting. So that's actually going to be a good alert. I'm going to add that to the watch list as well. I mean, in terms of like shorting stocks, that's when I like shorting is when they fill like the highest gap that's waiting to fill above. And if you look at the chart history on, you know, this stock right here, the highest gap to fill above is at 1040. And you could see how it previously reacted to almost filling that gap. I mean, those are like the best prices to short stocks. Like that was literally the top of Lucid stock. The highest gap to fill right here on Lucid was at 57.37. The exact top 2 days on a row, 57.75. It crashed all the way down to 43. Those put options printed very, very deeply. You know, that's over 14 points in 2 days. Like the put options are easily up over 300% after that. And then it did it again, except it formed higher support. So you gotta pay attention to those gap fill levels when they're at their oversold and overbought marks. They're huge, like in terms of like overbought, resistance levels, huge downside potential, and then oversold support levels, huge upside potential. So just make sure you're aware of those levels. So yeah, this one is going to be a top watch for tomorrow. So that'll be good. Tomorrow's going to be crazy, man. This whole week is going to be nuts, man. There's so many oversold stocks. The market's going to go crazy too. It's going to be a phenomenal week. I mean, we're already off to a great start. The PROG short worked out phenomenal. AUR worked out nicely. Lucid's working out nicely as well. So yeah, I mean, we're off to a great start. It's only Monday, and we'll see. I mean, tomorrow's going to be pretty crazy too. Got a lot of upcoming plays coming up here. Potential longs on BBIG and PROG to ride these from 3 to 4s. So yeah, it's going to be good. This is just the start. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Last calls on stocks, let me know. Roblox, let's see. Um, it's just not my type of chart pattern. There's not much to it. I would stay away from it. I mean, in terms of buying an absolute gift, I would love to buy if it went to. I mean, anything's possible if this ever goes to 77. Like scoop up some calls, that would be phenomenal. So I got my price alert set on that one. But other than that, I'm not interested in it. I don't like buying IPOs when they're early stages in, especially when they're breaking out and towards really high prices. That's something I don't like to do, especially like when they're in the hundreds. Um, let's see, what has Rivian been doing? Not much. That's starting to die out. Like DWAC, man, this stock really died out. It's literally Robinhood all over again. Like if you were to compare the charts, like DWAC was literally Robinhood. This is why you guys have to remember the charts, remember the patterns, because this was all predictable. Um, you literally just have this straight line, this straight arrow shooting up. Like there's no support. That's like that's not healthy for the long term. Like right here with Robinhood, this straight move up, it gaps up. Ever since the day it gapped up, nothing but downhill. Same thing with DWAC. This straight move up, it gaps up. Stock went up 1,700% in 2 days. Ever since it had that gap up, nothing but downside. Like they're both following each other in that sense of a pattern. So yeah, you guys really have to save these patterns, and have that pattern recognition, to have that ability to capture that trend when you see that pattern repeat itself on another stock, to take advantage of that trend. And more importantly, to not get caught bag holding. Let's see. Okay, so NAKD. I mean, from a technical view, I'm not seeing any reason to be buying this one. I'm just not seeing it. Like, yeah, there's some support there, but I'm just not seeing any sort of like key strategy. So I'm really not interested in that one. All right, so guys, I'm gonna get to work on the video on PROG. So stay tuned for that. Um, and like I said, Trader Society, like we are launching like this week. We are launching very, very soon. So if you are interested in, live trading streams, real-time stock analysis, um, you know, daily watch list. If you're really interested in learning how these strategies work, there'll be a video lesson library as well. You'll have access to me. It's the only way to reach me. So if you're interested in like one-on-one messaging, and then we're gonna have, I got a really good moderator. He scalps options for a living. I've known him for years. He's doing absolutely phenomenal. And then down the road, we're gonna have more moderators as well. It's gonna be amazing, guys. I'm telling you, we're gonna be laser focused, dialed in, trading the best setups at the best prices, and really focused on these unique gap strategies. That's what's really gonna set us apart, along with being, self-sufficient and not blindly following alerts. So if you're really interested in, taking advantage of all that, you'll have the opportunity to do so this week. I'm really looking forward to this launch, guys. I've had a lot of people waiting to join, waiting to get in on this, and it's really going to take this to the next level, man. I'm looking to really create, consistent profitable traders to really take this to the next level. Like if you think the YouTube education and the YouTube videos are great, this is going to be the next step because it's going to be, daily live trading webinars, daily stock analysis, daily watch list, daily input, one-on-one messaging. It's going to be the real deal. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be able to take people to the next level and really make them self-sufficient. But yeah, guys, the top two plays right now, like I said, Lucid and PROG, and then we got to keep an eye on BBIG. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out for the video on PROG. I will see you guys in the next stream. How do I get in? So stay subscribed to the channel. Turn on push notifications. The details are going to be released in an upcoming video this week. And I'll also post about it. I'll post about it in the community tab. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be like the best deal I can possibly make. So like not only is it gonna be like a video lesson library where you get the education, but it's gonna be a service, except there's no recurring fees. It's a one-time fee, lifetime access. So think of like this ongoing service where you're getting access to, daily live trading webinars, daily real-time stock analysis. So the real-time stock analysis that'll be delivered, within the live streams, within video lessons sometimes, and then within, through typing throughout the chat room, whether that's replying to your message, whether that's, giving out real-time alerts. So there's going to be like two type alerts. There'll be like the stock analysis and the watch list type of alerts with trade ideas, preparing you guys for upcoming trades, when to be short buys, when to be long buys. And then there's also going to be like the real-time trade alerts. That's when like I enter and I exit a position. But those aren't made, for you to follow, right? Like I'm not looking for people to blindly follow alerts. This is really made for you to be self-sufficient. But yeah, it's just the value is really going to be in that real-time stock analysis, the live education, and of course, having access to not only me, but moderators within the room as well, who are well equipped with this strategy and other strategies too. And we're going to be laser focused on, trading options and then share plays as well, where we buy and sell, shares like stocks. So like just to understand, it's a quality over quantity approach. Like if you're looking to blindly follow alerts, if you're looking for, tons of alerts every single day, like it's not the program for you. This is going to be like really high quality over quantity approach where we're really focused on, not only putting ourselves in positions that have very little risk with huge reward, huge upside potential with high risk to return ratios, but also focused on having a very, very high win rate. Not that really matters, but really focused on trading the best setups at the best prices. Like you guys have seen my trades. It's not like I'm trading every single day, and these are very rare opportunities that come around. There's been times where I haven't made trades in like 2 whole weeks, and that's where it gets really dry, it gets kind of depressing. But you just got to understand it's part of the game, it's part of the cycle, and you got to be prepared and you got to be adaptable. When things get slow, that's when you really got to take a step back, but you do have to be prepared. You do have to be able to, adapt when things catch back on fire, to get back in the game and to not hesitate. But yeah, it's just really important to understand that like not every single day is going to be like this, that's for sure. But the market has been really hot this past week. Wow, QLGN guys, man. Let's see. Did the daily? This is interesting, guys. So this stock went from 3 to 140s. Now let's just see if the daily chart gave us any reason to like, sell the stock or to not go long, right? Let's just see if there was any confirmation in terms of the daily chart. Let's see. Oh my god, this is wild, man. This is why you guys have to use the daily chart. You have to use charts, man. You don't see us chasing these breakouts. You don't see us get stuck bag holding. Like it's all within the charts. Man, I wish I would have saw this. Shit, I would have been all over this, man. It's I mean, sometimes you're gonna miss out, but man, in terms of shorting, the chart gave it all away. I mean, that's for sure. Like look at this chart, guys. The chart gave it all away. Look at how crazy this gap close reversal strategy works. And someone said like let's see. Okay, hold up. I'm getting a message on my phone. I just got a price alert triggered. All right, let's see. All right, so just take a look at this chart. Was this a buy above 260 at $3? Was this stock a buy? See how there's a gap to fill right here at 260? It recently filled that gap. How did the stock react? Well, it had a little breakout, but then once it started to turn right here, heading into power hour, very similar to actually PROG, where it filled the gap, it went a little bit above, then it crashed. I mean, just look at how it reacted. It went to 320s in pre-market, it crashed all the way to $1.60. It dropped 50% from the threes. And then same thing here. It shoots back up, forms new lower highs into 290s. It drops 50% again. So was this a good deal? Was this a great buying opportunity when it just ramps back up again from the 150s to 3? The answer is no, guys. And if you look at the chart, it's like that gap close reversal strategy. There was actually a gap to fill right here at $2.56. And we've known how it has historically reacted for the short term and for the long term at this level. It's known for crashing back to 150s fairly quickly. So was that predictable in a sense? Like, yeah, it was predictable. Was that a good short opportunity? Like, yeah, it was. There wasn't much upside risk. Like, look at your upside risk. 310, 312. Like, you're risking what, 10 cents to make $1.50? Like, there's really no risk in shorting this. And then you have this gap to fill below at $1.25. And if the stock is consistently going from 150 to threes, failing to break out, where do you think it's going to go? It started to fill the gap below. And then people will say, like, oh, well, it had an offering. There's no way you could have known that. And it's like, yeah, but luck is when, what's that old saying? Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, right? The strategy, the charts put you in the position to be short biased. That doesn't mean you have to short the stock, but what it does mean is you should not be going long. So, you just have to have, if you have the proper education and if you really understand how to see these charts, you can put yourself in positions where luck comes your way. Same thing with PROG. I was short on PROG, and people are like, oh, it crashed because it had an offering. And I'm like, yeah, but I was in before the offering. The charts told me to get in. Like, you're going to see, like, luck will come your way if you're in at the right prices, using the right strategies. It happens to me all the time. I've been in so many trades where news goes my way and I'm not even expecting it to happen. It's just typically what happens in these situations. Like, there's a reason why they say buy low, sell high, because the bad news tends to come out, especially on these smaller cap stocks. Like, news like that tends to come out when it's really, really high. Like, you don't see offerings coming out. Stocks are really, really oversold. They tend to come out when they've been pumped. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to put yourself in situations to get lucky. And that was fairly predictable. But man, I'm really disappointed I missed out on that one. That was, my God, that was a phenomenal play. But you can't catch them all, guys. Like, this isn't Pokemon. But what you can do is, if everyone understand how the strategy works and they're self-sufficient, the more eyeballs on the stock, the better. Then you won't miss out on any plays because you have like a real-time scanner within the chat room alerting you, and that's one of the goals to establish within this program. Because if you're in a service where they're not teaching and you're just blindly following alerts, another downside is like you're gonna have all these people in the chat room not focused on the right thing. They're gonna be focused on just blindly buying into stocks. So that would be another advantage of really becoming self-sufficient and learning, is because you'll have a chat room with the right education, with the same video lesson library that's really dialed in on the right setups that can prepare each other. Because there will be times where you miss out on setups, but the more eyeballs on those setups, the better. You can use it as like a real-time scanner. I mean, that'd be the goal, to like get to a place where the chat room is so good where you don't even have to like buy a scanner like Trade Ideas or like Bazinga. You could just use the chat room and people will alert the stocks. So yeah, LGVN. Let's see. LGVN is bearish, guys. Like, I would sway away from this, from 3 to 45. I would sway away from this. The chart looks bearish. Within some time, it looks like we're headed back towards like $22 and even lower. I would avoid this one for now. Best price to short would be right here. If this pops to 42.30, that's going to be a good short opportunity if it reacts, as a resistance level. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna be heading out. So I'll see you within the video on PROG. I'm gonna post that very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see, you guys are still posting stocks. I mean, can't help myself. This is literally all I do. So let's see, LITM. I don't think there was a reason to really trade this one. Let's check the daily chart. Yes, I mean, I don't see any reason to buy or short that. If this can go to 1280 to fill this gap, that'll be interesting. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of good new plays coming up, so be on the lookout. Congrats to those of you who took advantage of Lucid. For those of you locked in profits on AUR, all great plays. But yeah, I think Lucid's going to be the real deal. So you guys, I'll see you in the upcoming video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And till